Hello everyone, I'm Pamela Walter. I'm the Operations Manager for the Office of Transportation Services. Today we're going to talk about the bus incident form, all the information that's needed on the form if you have an incident on your bus. And we will also review what is the process for the office and the transportation supervisors once a form is submitted. Let's begin with the bus incident form training. What do you do if you have an incident on your bus? We will cover the following questions. If you have an incident on your bus, how and who do you notify? What is the expectation of you when an incident occurs on your bus? Why is it important that you write neat and fill in all the blanks? What to expect after you submit a bus incident form? What to do if you do not get a comeback copy from the school? What is the office staff and supervisors' processes and requirements? Are the bus incident forms tracked by the office and supervisors? What is the procedure when the school has not submitted the comeback copies of the bus incident form? What happens if the supervisors are unable to get the forms back from the schools? Let's begin. The bus incident form is an important document that can assist you with student behavior issues. It is important to document all bus incidents. If the student's behavior does not improve, the bus incident form shows the behaviors and what the driver and the school has done to address the student's behavior. With the documentation, supervisors can work with the school to help provide you assistance and tools to better deal with difficult students. The expectation of the driver and attendant is to complete a bus incident form when something occurs on the bus that requires attention from the driver or the attendant and submit the form to one of your team supervisors. Next, let's discuss each section of the bus incident form. Number 1, driver name. Please write your full name. Number 2, your vehicle number is your assigned bus or van. If you are in a spare bus or van, please provide that number also. Number 3, the school name is the school that the student attends. Number 4, the date the incident took place on your bus, not the date you are filling out the form. Number 5, student name. If a student will not give you their name, have a school staff member or a supervisor meet your bus to assist you. Number 6, route number is the route the student is assigned. Number 7, check all that apply is the start of the documentation of the student's behavior. If more than one student is involved, a bus incident form must be completed for each student. Depending on the behaviors, you may choose to deal with the behavior yourself. For example, assigning a student the front seat for a day or two. If you choose to work with the student, number 8, information only or no action necessary, is where you would detail your actions. For example, spoke to the student or assigning the student a seat. Based on the behavior checked in Section 7, you must write a statement to support that choice that includes as much detail as possible. The school administrators need as much detail as possible so they can conduct their own investigation of the incident. If the students are using inappropriate language, you must write out the words. If there are students around the incident that are not involved, include their names so that the school administrators can interview the students to get more details and then determine a course of action appropriate for the incident. If you have written up a student more than once, include the previous incident dates in this section. This could help the school administrator quickly gather more information if needed. Every blank on the incident form should have information provided before submitting. There should be no blanks when the form is submitted. It is important that you write neat and legible. This is important for several reasons. The school may need more information and need to know who to contact. This will help with getting the return copy to the driver or attendant that submitted the form, and it helps with inputting the information into the database. Once you have completed the form, you must give it to a supervisor. They review the form and determine if it needs to go to the school or if they need to have a conversation with you and assist or give you guidance on how to handle the situation yourself. If it is turned into the school, the supervisor will keep the goldenrod copy for the driver and attendant and pink copy for the supervisor. The school has 7 work days to respond by returning the green comeback copy for the driver and the canary yellow comeback copy for the supervisor. If you have not received your comeback copy, you must inform your supervisor so they can follow up with the school. Section 11 explains the distribution of copies. White remains with the school. Green is your comeback copy. Canary yellow is the comeback supervisor copy. Pink is a supervisor copy, and goldenrod is the driver copy. Note, the pink and goldenrod copies do not get turned into the school. These copies are to be kept as proof the bus incident form was turned in. What to expect after you submit a bus incident form. You should get the return copy from your supervisor if they speak with you about the incident, or if submitted to the school, you should get your comeback copy completed by the school administrator in Section 10. As you see, one of the options that the school administrator has is to suspend a student from the bus. This can be tricky for you if the student is at the bus stop in the morning. If this happens, you are to bring the student to school and report it to the school administrator. They will deal with the situation and follow up with you. What happens after a bus incident form is submitted? The Office of Transportation Services developed a database to track the bus incident forms. This database is used to enter all bus incident forms, the dispositions from the schools, gives the supervisors the ability to track the bus incident form, allows reports to be generated by driver, student, school, and team. It also tracks when a supervisor has to follow up with the school, and it has the ability to notify the operations managers and coordinator if the supervisors are unable to get the schools to follow up. Once you have submitted a bus incident form, the supervisor turns in the pink copy to the office staff person that will input the information from the bus incident form into the database. Here you see what the form looks like in the database. Once the information is inputted, the incident is given a tracking number. When the school returns the required copies, the supervisor turns them into the designated office staff person to input the disposition. The database allows reports to be generated to track where a bus incident report is in the process. Here you see a report for Kilmer Center. It has the driver or attendant name listed, the incident date, the student's name, the route number, and finally it shows whether or not the bus incident has been closed by having a response from the school. This is called the disposition. As you see in the example, all incidents have a disposition from the school. If a supervisor generates a report and it shows a no under the disposition column, the supervisor must contact the school for a follow-up. If the school does not submit the return copies after the supervisor makes 2 attempts, the supervisor then assigns it to the operations manager for follow-up. It is then the responsibility of the operations manager to contact the school to get the disposition. It is important that all employees involved with the process do their part to ensure student behaviors are handled in a timely manner. Bus Incident Report Training Review. If you have an incident on your bus, how and who do you notify? You should document the incident on the bus incident form. Give the completed bus incident form to one of your team supervisors. What is the expectation of you when an incident occurs on your bus? The expectation is you, the driver or attendant, will complete a bus incident form by completing all blanks, providing as much information as possible, and giving the completed form to one of your team supervisors. Why is it important that you write neat and fill in all the blanks? In order for the school administration to handle the incident, they need to be able to read what you have written and filling in all the blanks provides the school with necessary information to assist them in conducting interviews and making a determination on a proper course of action for the student's behavior. What to expect after you submit a bus incident form. A team supervisor reviews the bus incident form to determine if it should be handled by the school or if they need to have a conversation and provide guidance to the driver and/or attendant to handle the situation. Our goal is to train and guide our employees to be the best they can be. If the bus incident form is submitted to the school, you should receive the green comeback copy from the school or your supervisor within 7 school days. What do you do if you do not get a comeback copy from the school? If you do not receive your green comeback copy within 7 days of submission, you are to notify your team supervisors. The supervisors are required to contact the school for follow-up. What is the office staff and supervisors' processes and requirements? The process. When a bus incident form is submitted, the supervisor gives the form to the office staff person responsible for inputting the information into a database for tracking. When the school returns the comeback copies, the staff person inputs the disposition into the database, which completes the process. The requirements. The transportation supervisors are required to track the progress of the bus incident forms by generating weekly reports from the database to ensure the process is complete. If a driver or attendant informs a team supervisor that they have not received a comeback copy, the team supervisors are required to follow up with the school. Are the bus incident forms tracked by the office and supervisors? The bus incident database was put into place to track the progress of forms. Once the bus incident form is inputted into the database, it is given a tracking number. The supervisors are required to track the progress and follow up with schools as necessary. What is the procedure when the school has not submitted the comeback copies of the bus incident form? The supervisors will contact the school for follow-up. They are required to make 2 attempts with the school. What happens if the supervisors are unable to get the forms back from the school? If the school does not submit the comeback copies after 2 attempts, the operations managers are notified and will contact the school. If the school does not submit the comeback copies after the operations managers contact the school, this information will be passed to the assistant director for follow-up. Thank you for spending this time with me. I hope I have given you tips, tools, and information to help you better understand the bus incident form and the processes involved. Good luck on the test.